Hey, welcome back. Decided what better book to do than a hockey romance. My current favorite genre. One is called Ice Bet. I have not heard anything about it, and that's very rare because I'm constantly on hockey book, TikTok, YouTube, everything, Instagram. I'm always getting recommendations, and I've never heard anything about this or anybody talk about it. So my boss actually got this for me because she knows I love hockey romance, and so I'm gonna read it and see if we should buy it for the shop instead. A lot is writing on this. So we have a coach's daughter, so obviously it's forbidden romance, and then his rival's newest target, so we have potentially a love triangle. Okay, it's your favorite wet weasel coming in. So I'm gonna be so for real. I was counting down the pages because I give every book 100 pages unless it's like really bad, but I usually give every book 100 pages to hook me. And when I tell you that I got to page 100 and I was in the middle of the chapter, so I finished the chapter. Page 113, it all turned around. So we have Riley, the coach's daughter, and Asher. He's not the captain of the hockey team, but he's one of the faves. He's definitely an assistant captain. He lives across the hallway from her. They live in the same apartment building, and she's there for some mysterious reason to him, not to, like, the reader knows. But her dad, his coach, said watch out for her, make sure she goes out to parties, you make sure she gets home safe, make sure she's not out by herself too late. And so he's like her little babysitter, so obviously he despises her immediately. And she despises him because she has like this vendetta against hockey players, which I'm still unsure about. That's like my main hang up with this book and why I'm definitely gonna finish it, but I really would like to figure out why she hates all hockey players, because when she moves in, literally the first time they meet up, she has a stack of books and she drops them, and then he goes to pick them up and she's like, I hate hockey players. I'm like, okay, that's fine, good luck. But there's a bet that she overhears in the locker room of who can hook up with her first, because she's coach's daughter, so it's like, oh, off the table, forbidden, keep your hands off my daughter. But she overhears it. And so she's like messing with all the players, like, oh, he, like getting in their heads. And Asher is not having it. And he says, no. And so now he's like, I'm not part of the bet. You're not part of the bet either. Like, you're not doing this. We're not. No. And he pretends it's just for his team to make sure his team's heads are on straight, but it is a dual POV, so we do see that it might be a little bit more. And that's what hooked me, because they kiss, and she's like, okay, whatever, I'm going back to the party. And he's like, why did I do that? Now I'm literally in love with him, mate. Yeah, so that's why we're sticking with it. Excited to see where it goes. Hopefully she doesn't just hate hockey players because of her dad, and there's like actually a reason. We'll be checking back in. Toodles. Wait. That clip, yeah, I literally read a chapter after finishing that last clip, and you find out why she hates all hockey players. And if, you know what, it's so valid. It's so valid. This book just went from like a 2.5, 3 star to a 4 star because it's so valid. And the reason I hated her has been alleviated now. Like, yeah. Also, he found out that she sorry, I'm literally so excited. Um, he found out that she was a figure skater, and that's why she transferred to this school, because she had a bad fall. But now he's like, he watched all her videos and fully like did his research on figure skating and was like, oh my gosh, you're so impressive. So now he's gonna help her get back on the ice, because after she had her bad fall at her last school, she's been too scared to get on the ice. So now he's gonna help her, and he's also so in love with her. And she's so just like indifferent to him. And I love when a guy pines for a girl. So anyhow, my questions were answered, so I thoroughly appreciate that. Anyhow, toodles. Okay. I'm thoroughly enjoying this. I also, every time I look up at the viewfinder, the camera's shaking. You're currently balanced on a Tupperware of gummies, so sorry that it's kind of shaky, but it's the best we can do right now. Anywho, love it. So he wants her to be more comfortable on the ice, so they've been not even like skating, kind of skating around, but more of just like doing homework on the ice, studying on the ice, like that kind of thing, just to be like comfortable in the atmosphere. And then he's like, you know what, I'm done. Like, you're ready. I know you are. And so he has all his friends come over and their girlfriends come over, and they have a little like impromptu hockey game. I wish there would have been more. Like, the game just started and then the chapter ends and then it like skips. Like, I wanted more banter. He did just shove her into a locker. They may or may not have been making out in the locker room. And then the coach comes in and he like slams her in the locker, and all his teammates know that she's in there, and they're all just like, anyways, so coach, are we done with this talk yet, or nothing to see here? Love. So cute. The inevitable has happened. I don't think I ever mentioned it, but her ex is a hockey player on the rival team. They're playing them right now. She's wearing the rival team's jersey, and Asher just saw her in the stands. I'm not gonna say what happened, but you know what happened. So Riley's in Asher's apartment. She spent the night, they had like a poker night, and then she spent the night after. And her dad's at the door. And like, legally she cannot get across the hall, because her dad's at the door. Like, she cannot get past her dad. So, naturally, she pretends to be making them breakfast. He's like, what are you doing here? And she's like, I'm making pancake stuff. Celebrating their big win. What is extra, just love this girlie. She makes the pancakes and then they go to eat them, and she's like, no, I made these for me. You're welcome for lying, for all of you. She's trying out She's trying out for a figure skating team right now. And Asher and her dad are just like watching her, just in awe. Oh my gosh, love. Will you kick off the team if you find out if punch one of your teammates? Graham is no longer on our team. Coach! He's literally screaming because Asher's about to beat him up. Not your coach anymore. But is that how it ends? There's no way that's how this ends, with him just beating the crap out of Graham. That is so funny. Not the epilogue being 10 years later. Okay. It would have been a 4-star. And you know what? Like, I'll be the first to admit, I am so harsh with ratings. So harsh. Like, a 4 is like a pretty much perfect book, or like it made me feel really good. A 5 is like a genuinely perfect book in my eyes, and a 3 is just your average book. Anything lower is like, it did something wrong, because if I didn't DNF it and then it ends up being a 2 or 1, like, you're dumb. But I would give it a 3 if you can, like, look past some of the cringe that comes with the whole, like, coach's daughter thing, where her dad gets brought up in situations where I would not want my dad to be brought up. Like, it's kind of like he's so obsessed with her dad that it's like, it gets a little cringe at times. But if you can look past that, like, if you can look past the cringiness of it, because there are, like, I would say 10% of this is cringe, and the rest of it is good. Like, the romance is good. He pines over her. Like, she has him wrapped around her finger without even trying. She literally is existent. He's like, I worship you, which I always love. I will be reading the first book in this, like, universe, and I will be reading the third one, which comes out I believe in November. I'm not rushing to read them, but they're on, like, if I just don't really know what to read, then I'll reach for one of these. In the next video, love you.